Today on Friends from College, we're talking about the fallouts of relationships from Season 1, starting of new relationships from Season 2, and more. Stay tuned!
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hello, everybody! Welcome back to AfterBuzz TV. We are here doing Friends from College After Show Season 2. Yes. I'm very excited to talk about this show with you, with everyone who's listening to us audience-wise. I'm your host, Marisa Serafini. Joining me, I have...
Hi, I'm Meagan Lynn.
And I'm Maddie Pocks. Happy to be here.
Yes, I'm so excited to talk about Friends from College. Let's get into it. What were your overall first thoughts of the season?
You know, I'm excited to see these friends being a little less awful to each other. I think we're finally going to get more of a backstory and development of all of their characters. I think they're each going to play really integral roles, and I'm excited to see what new relationships are forming.
Yeah.
I agree. I'm sad to see everyone kind of breaking up right now, but I have hope for them, you know, with... I don't know. I think that there might be some rekindling and whatnot. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and we're definitely going to break it all down. For those who are new to our after show, we're going to cover this Netflix show by episodes. So we're going to do the first 2 episodes, then episodes 3 and 4, episodes 5, 6, 7, and 8 until the end. So we're going to cover the first 2 episodes of this season for season 2. So it is the episode Engagement Party and Storage Unit. And for my thoughts, I thought this was really fun. It was great to see everybody come back, still kind of the same way and the same personalities, but a little changed, more so because of the fallouts from season 1, but where they are now a year later. Had they changed for the better or for the worse? We're definitely going to get right into it. So we start with the engagement party. Max and Felix doing their dance routine at the beginning. How cute are they?
So cute. They make me melt. I just love them.
I think they really balance each other out, too. I think Felix is good about calling him out, kind of, and his friend group as well.
Oh, yeah, and I love when Felix has his little side comments, is like, well, I didn't say they were great. And I like how he is the, not to say outsider, but he is the voice outside of the main group that can really... not say judge, but really say the opinions of what everyone else who's actually watching the show is thinking.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. He's definitely the middle ground. Like, if he wasn't there, then they would all just be fighting, I feel like. And so he just kind of steps in and puts Max in his place, and then, states his opinion. Yeah,
that dance routine was really cute at the beginning, and I realized that's probably the only time we're going to see that dance. I could be wrong. Maybe we see it at the wedding, but it was funny how they were going through it at the beginning. I was like, good chances, because once we get to the actual engagement party, we're not going to see them dancing. It's going to be more dramatic, crazy drama that happens when everyone gets reunited. But I did like it was a fun way to start off the show.
I don't know. I imagine at their wedding they're going to have some sort of special choreographed first dance. It's not going to be the traditional.
Oh, yeah. I don't think so. So catching up with, we slowly, in the first episode, we get people back into the routine, and we see where everyone is in their lives, and we catch up with Ethan. We saw at the end of season 1, his book kind of tanked, Wolf Trials, because it was not as original as they were thinking, but he's now working on Equestriana. It's not working. The Centaur novel, and Boy Horse. That is such a terrible working title. Yeah. Do you think this book is going to take off in a way, or for this season, do you think it's going to help Ethan?
I feel in a very ironic way it will. Like, people will read it, and especially, like, the YA crowd look for a deeper meaning than it actually has.
As long as they change that cover, because I was laughing so hard with him, and then, you know, they were, like, showing him the stats of, oh, this actually works if you have pubic hair or whatever, and it was like, okay.
It got very weird and not professional when it came to that book meeting, what have you, but I'd like to see this book actually kind of take off and maybe be successful. Yeah, it has a lot of working things a lot of kinks to work out, but it'd be nice to see Ethan get another successful book, because we've been led in the last few years, he's kind of hit a dead end so far. So
Well,
It'd
he's
be nice
also
for Ethan to
hit
get a
rock
win.
bottom socially. Like, does
Exactly.
he even deserve a good book right now? It's hard for me to forgive him. For some reason, it's easier for me to forgive Sam for cheating, but not him.
Sam? Mm-hmm. Okay. I was like, well, Sam was, I mean, we'll get more into it, but Sam, it takes two to tango. So it's like Sam was equally as guilty.
Yeah. I kind of feel the same, though. Like, I feel
His wife was
like-
trying to get pregnant. They were trying to have a baby.
That's bad.
Yeah.
But you know what? Maybe he'll take this experience and then he'll write his new book based on the story, I'm thinking.
Maybe.
No, because it's a good story.
That'd be juicy.
Yeah, that sounds more of the adult book, but they were pushing for young adults, so just for a successful run of a book. But speaking of Sam, that kind of brings us into Sam and John. We see John is not taking this quote unquote fair. It's not really quote unquote, but like the actual fair, and it's been a year, and John's still not over it. Is that warranted?
I think so. I mean, she completely betrayed him, and especially the fact that they have children, I think that takes it to another level because they've really established themselves as a family. And unlike Lisa, I don't think he really saw any of the warning signs. I don't think he expected it at all. And I think he's kind of went from being in this denial to this kind of revenge mindset.
Yeah, Maddie, what do you think?
Well, I think it's different because they were friends and they used to hook up in college, and that's why he can't get over it. Because if it was a one-night stand, maybe he'd be like, okay, this person doesn't mean anything to you, but he keeps seeing him like at that engagement party, obviously, and then it's just, I don't know, that would bother me so much. It's like you have so much history, you're obviously still in love with them.
And
So I
especially
don't blame
being an outsider to the friend group, too, as well.
Yeah.
I think that stings a little bit more.
Absolutely. And there are moments where he has also his side comments where it's like, well, I didn't tell you everything either, or I don't tell you everything either. So like those side jabs at Sam where there's still resentment for what she did to him. Rightfully so. I don't blame him.
Yeah.
It's been a year. They've been in couples therapy, but it doesn't seem like any progress has been made.
Yeah.
I'd like to see some justice for him. I think he deserves some sort of happy ending.
Yeah, well, we'll get to see episode 2 in a minute. But before we do that, that kind of takes us to the train scene where we finally kind of see most of the group all together and their little awkward reunion on the train. Marianne, she's so funny.
She's my favorite. I feel like I relate to her so much. Like in all situations, I'm Marianne. I like to think I'm a little bit brighter, but I would not want to be in the middle of all of that. And I feel like she's getting so much blame put on her. And really, she's like the kid in the middle of a parent's divorce.
A bit.
Yeah, that's exactly the right thing to relate it to, because she's not clueless. Like, she's not dumb or anything. Like, she's very smart, but she just is in the middle of being like, why can't you guys just all work it out? Like, why, just everyone get along? Why do you have to all hook up and whatever, make it awkward?
Yeah.
So I feel bad for her, but yeah, when she came in on the train and just saw all of them right away, that was hilarious.
That was my favorite moment. She was like, oh my gosh, everyone's here, and everyone already knows that. They're just pretending they don't.
There's just that awkward moment that, of course, she had to bring it up. And she said it so loudly, too. Especially when she had to repeat the line, like, have you talked to Lisa? And I'm like, no one has.
That was
and
a
she said it
little
even
too far.
louder. And she's cute in the fact that she is kind of naive. I don't want to say ignorant, but, like, definitely naive where she doesn't realize it.
She's optimistic.
Yeah. She's too optimistic to the point where she doesn't realize the actual gravity of the situation.
Absolutely.
A bit. But that brings us to the actual engagement party. And I love how, like, throughout the whole episode, we get this through line of Felix saying, like, I hope your friends don't act out, or create a scene. And they're together. And, of course, Lisa has to show up.
Yeah, there was a little bit of foreshadowing there with that comment.
Because no one knew if Lisa was going to show up. She didn't RSVP, so we really didn't know. But she showed up. She's looking great. But she's not acting the best around the friends. She's obviously still very hurt. What were your thoughts of Lisa and how she was reacting among everybody?
Well, she showed up with like a hot date, which was good, Charlie.
Good number one move.
I don't know. I feel like the way that she made him stay by her side was a little immature. Like when everyone's trying to talk to her and whatnot. So she was a little guarded. She could have took that differently, I think. I don't know. I would still be hurt though if I were her. So I don't blame her.
Yeah, I think I noticed she kind of has something new going on with her hair. Like, she looked really put together. She was really pretty. Like you said, she has the hot date going on, but I think it's all a mask and a wall that she's trying to put up so she doesn't have to deal with those hard conversations. Like, there's a reason she didn't want to speak with Ethan alone or anyone else.
Right. Definitely a facade going there. And you can tell where everyone just wants to go up and talk to her and make amends. Like Marianne, poor Marianne, she kind of got the brunt of the frustrations from Lisa. But I did like how near the end she did come back like, yes, everything's okay. You're not the one I'm actually mad at.
Yeah.
So fortunately, I did like those two together as friends. So hopefully we can see those two more throughout season 2. For those who have seen and binged every episode, please no spoilers. We're still getting there, so we're only taking it for 2 episodes at a time. So it's nice to see where everyone kind of ends up throughout the season.
Yeah, I really do enjoy that friendship, too, with Lisa and Marianne, because I feel like she, even when everything was great between her and Ethan, like through IVF and everything, she was very pessimistic. And she was always kind of a downer, and I feel like Marianne could really boost her up, and she really needs that right now.
Yeah. Marianne's great, and Lisa needs a friend, too, because she seems like she cut herself off from all of them. So it's good if Lisa has someone back on her side, you know. But that kind of introduces us to a new person, Meryl Morgan. Your thoughts of her? Do you think she will fit in with this group?
Absolutely not.
Maddie?
I mean, I don't know. I don't trust her. I don't know what it is. Like, she just seems like they said that she wrote a tell-all book. So I know that just kind of says a lot from the beginning.
I wouldn't trust her with any secrets, and they have a lot going on. Even though everything's out in the open now, I wouldn't trust her with any of it. I'd keep her on the outside as much as possible.
Right. I can't trust her because, first, I have it in my notes, hair whip, hair flip, too much, high maintenance. Like, that's just a recipe for disaster. But do you think there's good chemistry between her and Nick? Because it seems like something is going on between those two.
I think so. I could see them getting in a relationship or some sort of hookup situation, but I think he'll end up with his heart broken. I feel like he's really received, like, the brunt of the relationships that he's had so far. In his relationship with Lisa, she put a lot of blame on him for it and really resented him, even though it was as much her decision. And I feel like some sort of similar situation is going to happen with her as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, when they kissed outside the doorway or whatever, he was kind of like, I don't want anything. So I think it'll turn into a relationship, and I think they'll hook up for a while, but I don't see it working, maybe because he said that. But he might, fall madly in love with her because she's kind of, doing her own thing, and she's older and knows what she wants, and that's not what he is used to. So,
yeah. He's definitely not completely innocent, but I still see him as kind of like the puppy dog, like jokester of the group, just following along with all the shenanigans. Yeah. I don't wish him any ill will. He deserves to be happy.
Yeah, no. But of course, so I think she's going to cause some trouble just for a little bit because I cheated a little bit. Did see Sarah Chalke is going to be in the show for at least 4 episodes, and we already got her for 2. So what more does her character have to offer? We have yet to find out. But this kind of like leads to the very end of the first episode where Sam trails off and she gets skunked. Oh, this was by far the best moment for me watching it, and because this is the very definition of karma.
It just added a whole other layer to the conversation she had with Ethan as well.
Yeah. I thought that both of them would go in front of the skunk, like just them, and then they both would get sprayed so badly, and then they would go back into the party and everyone would be like, you guys were together, oh my god, how could you? But it kind of worked out because everyone else came, and then
they all stink.
Of course, you had to have the gagging moment where everyone just starts gagging, starts throwing up.
Yeah, I think for sure that skunk was a plot device, because if that hadn't happened, if they hadn't been sprayed, I think something would have happened, whether it was a fight that ended in tears or they end up making out. I think there was a lot of tension built up in that conversation.
The interesting thing about the skunk is that it played a weird part in the fact of it established where everyone is in their relationship. And I say that in the means where when we see them at the end back on the train, where we see Sam and oh my gosh, Ethan, they were sitting Sam and John, all these names, sorry. Sam and John, they were sitting, and John ultimately says he wants a divorce, and that physically splits them up because he can't take the smell, and Sam goes and separates herself. So you can see that she's breaking off, and she's being separated from so many different people. Also now physically in the middle of her and Ethan. So it's like she's stuck.
There's some deep symbolism going on with the skunk, guys, and we're filling you in.
That skunk brought people together, and it brought people apart. So it tore people apart.
That's one deep skunk.
Yeah, it's a little weird, but I was like, okay, I see what's happening here. You
Very Friends from College style of symbolism going on.
Via a skunk. Who knew? But that was pretty much episode 1. If there's any other fun moments of that episode that you enjoyed, disliked. No?
My favorite moment is when they get back on the train and they smell disgusting and everyone like separates as much as humanly possible in that one car.
Right. Yeah. That skunk, man, it played a big role for the small amount of time.
5 stars.
Yeah. It's so funny.
You did your job.
It's so funny because Ethan's like smiling at the end too. Like he can smell her behind him, and he's just like, yeah, as everyone's getting off. And I was like, why are you smiling?
I know you're. I love when Lisa was like, we should give her a big tip. the skunk a tip.
But, so true.
Yeah. So let us know your favorite moments of this season, of this episode, by always rating and commenting and subscribing to us on YouTube. And what
absolutely
subscribing does for us.
We do not just cover Netflix shows. We have after shows for almost all of your favorite shows on right now, from dramas, reality TV, sci-fi, you name it. We have an after show for it. But we really do need your help. We're asking that you please subscribe to one or more of our YouTube channels. By subscribing to our channel, YouTube will suggest content that's tailor-made for you, and you'll help AfterBuzz continue to grow. And if you're worried about pesky notifications, don't be. They're totally optional. So hit that subscribe button right now for this channel and check out our other AfterBuzz YouTube channels as well. And if you let us know you did so in the comments, we might even give you a shout out. So get in that chat. Let us know what you think of the show. Let us know your theories for what's coming up. And thanks for just being the best fans in TV, guys.
Yeah, thank you always, and we have a few more episodes to cover, so we're going to be here for a little bit. And if season 3 comes around, we'll be here for that as well. So yeah, moving on to episode 2, the storage unit. A lot goes down in this. But first, I actually want to talk about Nick and Meryl. So going on a date, your thoughts. We didn't really see the date. We saw like the tail end of the date. But do you believe this relationship? Can you see them together for a while?
I don't see them together long term. Like I said, I think she has some sort of ulterior motive going on. I think she's just too pretty and sassy and charming to not be a snake in disguise. So I can see him getting a little hurt, but I did think they had a really sweet moment with that kiss.
Yeah, I agree. I see it totally temporary. I don't know. What if she's going to write a tell-all book about all of them?
Yeah.
Who knows? I don't, like I said before, I don't exactly trust her, so I don't know.
And watch that book beat out Ethan's book as a bestseller.
I was like, oh, that's not good either. But she also has a secret. She has a son who now Nick knows.
Yeah,
so
that
what are your
was
thoughts of
awkward.
that? Do you think that'll come into play? Because it doesn't seem like he's okay with it.
No. Well, I feel like based on the look on his face when they ran into each other, when like obviously he had been like with his mom, this kid is grown up, he knows what's going on. I feel like he's had other encounters like that at the house before, you know, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's pretty used to it, but also pretty hands off from the situation, and that this is just what my mom does. I'm sure he doesn't like it though.
Yeah. I agree. Totally. There's something, but we'll find out, I guess, with her. I don't trust her.
Yeah, I don't trust her either. It doesn't seem like she says a lot of things about her personal life, but she's interested in what Nick's personal life is. But,
I feel like she has the
More
facade that she has her life together more so than the group of friends do. But I really feel like she's very much on their level, like grown adults acting like they're 20-somethings fresh out of college.
Right. And some pettiness here and there.
Oh, for sure.
Of course. But we know that she has a few more episodes left, so we'll see what her character is up to. Let's moving on to John, because we saw John officially wants the divorce from Sam, and he does like the weirdest meanest, lowest act of revenge ever for Sam, syncing his contacts with her, and then setting out this terrible message to all of her clients, people she knows, friends, family, what have you. Is that too far for John for revenge?
I think so. When the episode started and I saw him doing that, I thought that he was like syncing her phone to read her text messages or something. I had no idea that he would record a message and send it to everyone, because like I have so many people in my contacts that I don't even, like, I met like once or something. Like, why would you send it to everyone?
Yeah, I could see him doing it to like a few of like the friends or like the top people, like her clients that he really wants to like screw with. But I think also messing with her business was definitely taking it too far. And I think he even called the school, and that's getting the kids involved. That's getting their lives involved in this, and that's not fair to them.
Yeah, it's like, I get what Sam and Ethan did is terrible, and it affected his marriage, yes, but obviously that's more defamation of character. That and like, hey, they know lawyers.
Yeah.
I mean, that just a little too far on the social scale, to the point where like legal actions could actually be taken. Because when you're dealing with business, personal contacts and stuff like that, that's defamation of character.
Yeah.
Also hacking into her phone.
Exactly.
Not a good look.
Invasion of privacy. It's like there's a lot of issues. And I think boundaries that were crossed by John, just like morality's sake, because yes, he's on the like, his relationship is ruined, but I don't think just as a person that doesn't make him any better for sending all those messages.
And do
out.
you really want like your kids' school to know about this? Do you want, because they have a lot of mutual friends and mutual contacts, like that's as much like your business as it is hers. And I get that it's making her look bad, but I wouldn't want everyone to know that about my marriage or my life.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't understand where he was coming from. Like, yeah, maybe close friends and just like try and embarrass her a little bit, but the whole contact list, getting your kids involved and people who don't really know you that much, that's just embarrassing, I think.
Yeah, not a good look.
Yeah, it was just too far. But I did enjoy the whole process of trying to find him, tracking him down. We had Marianne, Nick, and Sam tracking his phone. And the whole process of, they accidentally hit the car, and then Marianne, with all the tickets, she just leaves the car. Like, nope. Unpaid tickets. I thought that was really funny.
I love how she's racked up so many parking tickets that it's easier for her to just buy a new car than pay them off.
Yeah.
Right, like $12,000 in parking tickets?
Dang, girl.
That, like, you could go to jail for that.
How has she not gone to jail yet, honestly?
How can she get approved for another car?
She has a lot of car issues between that and then trying to teach Sam's kids how to drive and ending up letting them drive the car into the pool.
Yeah, that's right.
She's lucky no one found out about that.
I know, but I found that funny because, yeah, it's like people do pay a smaller amount on a down payment for a car or deposit. And I think I thought that was pretty funny, just the process of them trying to find John through all of it. But let's getting into the meat and potatoes of actual episode 2 with the whole storage unit, because it really focuses a lot on Ethan and Lisa, and they now have to officially split up all their belongings in the storage unit. And we kind of go down a trip of memory lane and like a lot of different emotions throughout this 30 minutes. What were your thoughts of them, like just the whole process of beginning, middle to end, and where they ended up?
I'm not surprised that things got emotional for them. Like, when you think of things you throw in storage, a lot of it's like memory boxes with photos and scrapbooks and things along those lines. And they've had a serious past together. They've been friends since college. They were trying to have kids together. And this was a very quick turnaround from that to putting all of their stuff in storage, moving out, and trying to start separate lives together. And I think they're a bit too entangled for that to be an easy process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maddie?
I'm surprised that they managed to be in the same storage unit together. Like, you know, usually when you have a bad breakup, you want to go separately, but good for them. And they ended up watching the tapes, like the old tapes and stuff. And I thought, yeah, it was really cute. And I kind of saw what was going to happen.
Yeah.
Inevitably, because they're in there for so long and they're just like, you know, reliving these memories and stuff like that. So,
Yeah. I saw it coming too.
Yeah, it was an interesting progression because how it started off, obviously, animosity and resentment towards each other. And then I love when they were trying to sell off their furniture to the lady. It's like it's chipped mahogany. But even when it came to the TiVo moment, because it obviously shows that Ethan wants this relationship more than what Lisa kind of wants.
Yeah.
Or at least that's what I see, is like Ethan wants it. He realized he definitely was the one in the wrong messing it up. And he wants to make amends. But that whole TiVo, because even in TiVo, back then, that also shows your memories too, and like what you liked them on the news.
Yeah, I think going through their old stuff was a nice glimpse into their relationship. And I think even during the affair, you could tell he really loved her. And I think he's just really torn and maybe stuck in the past too with his college romance and his college sweetheart.
Yeah. And then so after the whole TiVo moment, and they're drinking cheap Trader Joe wine. It's never good.
Yeah.
When you
know
throw
what's
two
gonna
people
happen.
in with a lot of sexual tension already, and cheap wine, that is not a good combination.
Nope.
Especially mattress right there.
Yeah.
Come on. So I think it's safe to say for all of us that we kind of saw that coming.
Yeah.
But do you think that's the end of it, though? The goodbye sex quickie, here we go.
I think maybe. I honestly foresee something going on with Sam because I feel like he's really hung up on her still. But I don't know. I feel like Lisa's going to do a better job moving on than he is.
I see it going back and forth for a while. I think he's going to keep trying to get back with Lisa, and the Sam just always going to be in the picture. Now that she's going to be divorced, too. I don't know. I mean, that was passionate in the storage unit. I mean, they didn't even put the mattress down.
Yeah.
They just left it up.
They're right up against that.
Yeah. It made me laugh so much when obviously he finished, and then someone walked by, and I was like, "Oh yeah, they're in a storage unit." That's
Yeah.
so awkward.
It's very open. It's very public. I don't think that's the first and last time we'll see them together. You know, so I definitely think there might be more moments like that.
Yeah, definitely
could
have
be
some
into predictions a little bit
for the future.
But yeah, I think they needed to just like clear a lot of the tension that they had right now and now move forward, because it seemed like Lisa definitely is still very much in love with him, especially when it came to the vase and when it reminded her of Ann Arbor and good memories in that way. And then unfortunately, John's message ruined it again.
Yeah. Bad timing.
Bad time.
Not the
'cause
best.
It just like quickly took her out of the moment, or like there was passion, and then straight back to animosity and resentment. And now it's a vicious cycle with those two. So we have yet to see what ends up with those two at the end of this season. Anything else about the second episode that you liked, disliked?
It left me with a lot of questions, and hopefully over the next 6 episodes we'll get some answers.
Right. I did think, sorry, as I'm remembering, the moment where Max was like telling Ethan, like, you guys got to clear your stuff out. It just reminds me of everything that could go wrong with a marriage. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I wonder if it makes him worried at all.
Yeah. Maddie, do you agree?
Yeah, I agree. He needs to get all his stuff out, because that's just like bad energy, like he said, right? So I totally agree with him. I think he was right to say that, but it also kind of puts a strain on him and Ethan. Not a strain, but a little bit of, oh, okay, like you think I'm bad energy, or I'm bringing something like a curse to your marriage or whatever. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I think Max was definitely... he was saying something right about that. It's like, yeah, it's a very pessimistic way to look at it, that it's like, this is everything that could go wrong with a marriage, but he could have said it more nicely.
Yeah.
It's like there's a way to say it nicely.
Yeah.
But those were the episodes 1 and 2. We have a little bit of news. Just a little bit.
AfterBuzz TV News.
So a lot of people were actually surprised that season 2, we got a season 2 on Netflix, because season 1 didn't have the best ratings. But there was actually an interesting article, according to Bustle. There was an interview that said that the creators, Stoller and Del Banco, they said they were taken aback by the harsh criticism that the show faced after season 1 because they wrote it and they produced it. It was actually based and mirrored off of their personal lives and their college friends.
Oh, okay.
And so they were taken aback and took it personally because when people said these are awful people, they're like, oh yeah, the people that we know and based it off of is awful. So like just that sad realization of like, yeah, they're not the best people in the world.
Yeah.
So it did ultimately get renewed by Netflix. And Del Banco says it also does feel to us like this show is still finding its audience. With season 2, Friends from College, we'll get another chance to connect with viewers. Because I personally, when I watched season 1, I couldn't tell if I liked it or disliked it. There were a lot of funny moments and a lot of frustrating moments.
Yeah, it kind of makes you feel like a bad person watching it.
Right.
But also being in college right now, I'm a senior in college, and I think there's a lot of really relatable moments for me.
Yeah. Do you feel that way?
I'm not in college anymore, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've kind of been through stuff like that, and I definitely think it's not that bad of a story, but I can see where it becomes frustrating, and I don't know. Apparently, they're doing a season 3, so
Yeah.
So
I think we're going to see
right.
them make some better choices in this season, too. I see some development in them, so we'll
Yeah.
have to see.
Yeah, and the creator says it was very clear from the critical response that people were really unhappy and uncomfortable about the affair between Sam and Ethan in season 1. And, sorry, as I lost my place here, they were planning on adjusting it so there'd be no more affairs and whatnot, and more so rebuilding.
Yeah, I like that.
From the first season. So hopefully it's a lot of repairs.
Yeah.
In season 2, getting away from what we saw the destruction and it's now the rebuild.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So that's it for news. Let's get into some predictions.
Ooh, I have some
And
thoughts.
now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Awesome. So Megan, you have some predictions.
I
Go for it.
do. So especially with the call John made that went to the kids' school, I think they're going to get more involved and kind of see what's going on in their parents' lives. I would really like to see their characters fleshed out more because I think that could be really interesting amongst the divorce and everything that's still kind of going on with Sam and Ethan.
Okay.
So yeah, I look forward to seeing where that goes.
I agree. I think that the John and Sam divorce is just gonna go on for a long time. I think because he's just like stirring the pot. So that's just. I feel like that's gonna be for the next few episodes. I think that with Ethan, maybe he'll start seeing someone else, but he's not gonna get over Lisa. It's just gonna be this ongoing thing. And Lisa, who knows if she'll end up with that guy. Maybe she'll, after this episode, just kind of take a step back. So
She could use that break
Yeah.
from men.
Right, a break from men. Or I think in my predictions that Lisa and Nick will end up being a thing. We know that they
Ooh,
used to date.
interesting.
They had their weekend in the Cayman Islands that one time.
They
that,
did.
that really started just the whole confessions of everybody. But I honestly, and this is my personal opinion, that I think there's more chemistry between Lisa and Nick than there is with Lisa and Ethan.
I kind of agree with that.
I find the relationship way more believable.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah, so I think it'd be nice to see Lisa end up with Nick because we know Nick would take care of her and actually care for her too,
Yeah.
and
we're gonna
probably
have to
wouldn't cheat on her.
keep out looking for that.
Yeah, so that's what I'm going to predict, that at one point or another that they're going to end up together. If Lisa and Ethan don't work, it's going to be Lisa and Nick.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's my
Ready to
prediction.
see if your prediction comes true because that's interesting.
Yeah, so let us know your predictions. Let us know your thoughts about season 2, these first 2 episodes, and we're going to be covering 2 episodes at a time until the end of this season. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. In the meantime, where can everyone keep following you?
I'm Maddie Pocks. You can find me on Instagram at Maddie Pocks. Thanks, guys.
And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Meagan Lynn TV.
Great, and you can follow me everywhere at Serafini TV. You can follow all of us here, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all those fun social media platforms at AfterBuzz TV. Keep rating, keep commenting, keep subscribing, keep watching Friends from College Season 2, and we will see you next time.
Bye, all.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.